Good morning. Just as I hit go live, I started to feel some raindrops, so hopefully, I put my audio in. Hopefully, we don't get rained out here. Good morning, everyone. We're going to do something a little bit different this morning. Normally, I'd spend a few minutes saying hello and good morning to everyone, and I got a little feedback where that might feel like a little bit of a waste of time at the beginning, and I don't want to have to go back and edit it out on the YouTube platform. So I'm going to say howdy. I'm going to go around and shake hands a little bit later this morning. Hey, Kate, you made it in. You made it in. All right. And Øystein made it in. Okay, we do have a few raindrops, so if I have to run, it's because it's starting to rain and I don't want to get my phone ruined here. Although I can cover my phone with my beekeeping prop for the morning. I can just put that over the top if it's just a light sprinkle. But we have a few things to talk about, and I don't have a lot planned, but I do have some notes. I printed off some notes from some of the questions from the comments on the videos, and I thought that I was getting the names of the people that left the comments, but they didn't print. I think because they were in blue, and I don't have any blue ink on my printer. So I have the questions, and I'm going to address them. I just won't know who they're from until I go back and look at the computer again. So let's see here. I'm just going to start off. First, everybody make sure you have your coffee or your favorite beverage for the morning and relax, or morning if you're here. Øystein, you are in the afternoon, you can have whatever beverage you want. Very good. I'm set up on a table here with the horse barn behind me, just to show you a little bit of that progress. I really should have been up at 7 o'clock this morning working on that horse barn because, man, it is a beautiful morning out here. And it would be nice to come out here 7 o'clock and get some work done when it's nice and cool. This morning it's nice and cool because it's very overcast, and the cats are going crazy in the background. Very overcast, we got a slight little breeze, and it feels wonderful. So I really should be working on that, but I'm going to talk to you guys. I feel like I can't resist saying hello to everyone, but I'm going to resist for now. I'm going to say hello a little bit later. I'm going to take a break in a few minutes, maybe 10-15 minutes, scroll through, see who's here, and shake everyone's hand. So let's see, I can't resist. I'm looking. Okay, I'm going to resist. I do know that this first comment was from Rob Bob. Rob Bob over in Australia, who has a wonderful channel, who recently went over 100,000 subscribers. Congratulations, Rob Bob. And if you have any need for Australian gardening, aquaponics, aquaculture, raising fish and veggies in your backyard, he's the channel to go to. So he said, do you ever take stills of the clips to look for the queen? He's talking about beekeeping when I shoot the beekeeping videos. And I do sometimes when I'm scrolling through an editing video. I go frame by frame to see if I missed out when I'm out in the apiary. Everything's going on, the buzzing and the sweating, and I don't always see everything appropriately. So when I shoot the video and I take it up to edit, then I go frame by frame to see if I missed anything. It helps me be a better beekeeper. There's a lot of things that I notice in video, even things that I say, that if I were to analyze it in the moment better, I would do better, because it's just easier to think about things later when you're comfortable and you're watching it compared to in the moment. That's why a lot of the people who comment on my videos are probably sounding like better beekeepers than I am. They probably are better beekeepers, but they're analyzing a video when they can sit and think about it, and I'm out there in the moment, and it's just different. So yes, I do analyze and look for the queen in the video, frame by frame. And the next comment, I really wish I knew who this was from, but it says, I have to admit that I cringed when you put those plastic frames in there. Maybe I'm a purist, but plastic? I've heard that bees don't like it and they're slow to build on it. I'll be interested to see how your bees take to it. And they just put a beetle baffle on their hive, and they're going to let me know how it works. I'm very interested to know how the beetle baffle works. That's a device that goes around the bottom inside of the hive, and it supposedly is supposed to keep beetles from being able to get up into the hive. And I'd like to try that. I just haven't purchased it yet. The plastic frame she's referring to looks like this. It's all plastic. The foundation is plastic. It's all molded from one piece. So I decided to try these instead of the wood frames for a few reasons. I still have lots of wood frames. I only bought a few of these. But there are some reports that the beetles and the wax moth and the different pests have a hard time getting hold on these. Another comment, maybe it's on here. No, it's not. I don't think it's here. But another person mentioned that because I had said in the video that I gotta slow down. Hold on. Sometimes I get all riled up and then I can't talk. I had mentioned in the video that the beetles would have fewer places to hide on these plastic frames, and another comment was that they had tried these in their hives and found that the beetles did hide quite well in these crevices here. And I can see how that can happen. So I'm just going to keep an eye on that and see how they work out. Now, as far as the bees not building on the plastic, uh-oh, is it going to rain? I keep getting a few drops. The foundation, a lot of the foundation that's in the hive right now, even with the wood frames, is already plastic. So the bees are already building on plastic. They just don't have the plastic frame that holds the plastic foundation until now. So we'll see how these work. These were not that expensive, and I do kind of like the fact that it's all one piece, because sometimes when you're lifting up on these with your tool, the hive tool, sorry, got distracted. Sometimes the wood frame, because they're put together with nails, will pull apart. So I'm actually hoping that this will prevent some of that. Not that that happens often, but we'll see. Anyway, so the plastic frames, it's an experiment. Almost everything I do here on the farm is an experiment, because I'm not an expert at anything. Certainly not at beekeeping, but I am learning. And everything I do helps me get to that next stage to where I can someday become the expert, or an expert, or at least a mentor for someone else. Let's see the next comment here that I printed out. Another beekeeping question. It says, hey Blake, I think you should be laying some roofing paper, that's the tar paper, underneath your hive to control the population of hive beetles. I have roofing paper under 4 cylinder blocks and 2x4 2x10 posts with the hives sitting on top. I haven't had a hive beetle issue yet, and I don't use traps or supplements or control additives in the hive. That is a really interesting idea. I know a lot of people will put plastic or just different things to keep the hive beetle larvae from dropping down into the ground and pupating and becoming more beetles. But the idea of the roofing paper is nice, because it should last for a very long time. And I was thinking about some of the other methods. And those of you who have plastic or tar paper or anything else underneath your hives, tell me if do you think there's any concern with the beetle larvae dropping on and then crawling to the edge and still pupating? Because I'm wondering how much under the hive has to be covered. If there's no little lip, I was actually thinking about putting a baby pool under the hive so that the larvae would drop in and not be able to get out at all. They would just sit in there. But then I'm concerned about rain and it filling up and having mosquitoes and all that. So I'm just curious, those of you who have tried it, how much plastic or how much barrier do you need under your hive? How far away from the hive, side to side, front to back, do you need to make sure that those larvae don't crawl off and pupate right off the edge of that? So that's another interesting experiment that I do plan on trying. Plus, I guess if you go out far enough, you don't have to worry about the weeds coming up around your beehive. So that would be another added bonus. Early on, if you go way back in my beekeeping videos, you can see that I actually put a piece of carpet down under the beehives that are currently the splits, the ones that I'm mostly focusing on in videos. So that carpet was a nice barrier for a while. I don't know if the carpet was a barrier for the hive beetles, but it certainly did a good job for the weeds. And but now the carpet's been laying there so long that it's starting to look like there's no carpet there at all. The weeds are growing through it, the grass is growing through it. Okay, the next question I have here is about kombucha, and I don't want to go there yet. So I'm going to go ahead and scroll through and say howdy to a few and see who's here, see what questions we have so far. I do have some things to show. In the thumbnail, you saw me doing this. Well, this is something that I'm going to open up and show you what's inside, and I'm going to give this entire box away. I don't know how I'm doing the giveaway yet, but this is going to be the prize. So let me just say howdy to a few people here. By the way, I was out on Callie Kim's live stream for just a few minutes. She's doing a great job over in California, and she's doing a lot of collaboration with Gary Pillarchek. He's over on the East Coast, she's on the West Coast, and they're doing this coast-to-coast gardening thing, and their live shows are doing really well, so you can go check those guys out. I'm going to scroll through all the way, going way back to the beginning. And I see I have several moderators in here. Thank you so much. The Weekend Homestead as a moderator this morning. Check out The Weekend Homestead on YouTube. He has a cool channel up north. Cool, because he's up north. Bandana Grandma, good morning. Kate, a local friend and neighbor who is also moderating for me. Thank you this morning, Kate. Øystein, a friend in Norway. My second home. Not really, but I did love going there so much that someday I would love to have a home in Norway. Dripping coffee. Thank you, Øystein, for being a moderator this morning. Let's see here. Candy Williams, good morning. Liam Glenny, good morning. Thomas Stevenson, Brando Toe, Trish Rivera Weiner, Renate Butler from Germany, good morning. Elaine Knight, Paul Otis from Minnesota, good morning. Paul Otis is a beekeeper, and he is very kind to give me a lot of advice and encouragement on my channel when I post beekeeping. I can only imagine that sometimes Paul is probably up there going, oh, you almost got it, Daddykirbs, you almost got it. Let's see, Liv, good morning, another Norway friend. Kilted Gardner, good morning. Sandy, let's see here, let me scroll through. You guys, let's see. Melinda W. Hello, Mr. Kirby from Pennsylvania. I'm 8 years old. Wow. Thank you so much for being on the Daddykirbs live show this morning, Melinda. 8-year-olds watching with my grandma. I love watching your videos about your bees and your animals. My grandma loves your videos, your gardening videos too. I am so appreciative of you guys being here. I was looking at my stats on YouTube. I do that because I'm a nerd, I'm a dork, and I like looking at the numbers, not because, I need them to grow, but I get fascinated to see the different numbers and where people come from and the age groups, the demographics and all that. And I have about 5% of my audience is 13 to 17 years old. I I don't think they have a category for less than that, because you actually have to be 13 to have an account. But 5% of my audience to be teenagers, I think is very interesting, because I just don't think most teenagers are interested in that. But you being 8, and for my teenage audience, thank you so much for being here and wanting to learn about things that happen on the homestead and the farm. Let's see, Thomas Stevenson, Candace Shoemaker, good morning, Candace. Jimmy Brooks, San Antonio, near Converse, right down the road. Good morning, Jimmy. Paul Otis, it's 40, I already said Paul, didn't I? Well, hello again, Paul. 49 degrees there, I want to work on the bees. Little cold. Ugh. By the way, says hi. Okay. You guys are talking about Rob Bob now, so I'm catching up to the point where I was talking about Rob Bob's channel. Jimmy Brooks, greeting from Schwartz Farms in Converse. Renate Butler says, how much does it cost to start one hive, one colony? That kind of depends, but here's a general breakdown. You can usually get a hive kit that includes bottom board, the deep box with frames, the inner cover and lid, for around $100. Sometimes cheaper, sometimes more, but around $100. So that's your hardware. Then you got your suit and your hive tool and your smoker and what else? Your gloves, things like that. And so you might spend another $100 or so on that stuff. So this is if you have nothing and you're just getting started. So you're going to spend $250 or so to get the hive and the equipment to work the bees, and then you got to get the bees. If you start with a nucleus hive, that's the small box with 5 frames, and it's basically a full colony. It has the queen and all the workers and the brood and the honey and everything they need to get started. Those are usually $150 to $300 or so, depending on where you buy them. And so you could be in first year, first hive, you could be in for about $500 or so to get started with one hive. Every year, as you learn where to get your hives cheaper, maybe you learn how to build your hives, maybe you can get in with a group of beekeepers and you can get some secondhand equipment or whatever. Although secondhand hives are usually not a good idea, but secondhand suits or whatever, you could start saving money. But I would say $500 is probably around where you could expect to get started with one hive with all the equipment. Thank you, moderators, for reminding people to give me a thumbs up. That's very helpful. It helps YouTube know that I have something that you guys appreciate. So give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and hit subscribe. That way you will be reminded when I post my videos. I have videos, if you're brand new here, I have videos that range from fruit trees in the orchard, chickens, horses, goats, the garden videos, things like building the horse barn, the beekeeping, making things in the kitchen like kombucha and apple cider vinegar, and other fermented vegetables someday. I haven't actually done a video on that yet. Some giveaways. So it's a broad homesteading channel, so you can go ahead and check that out. Let's see, Clay Hardy says, I'm considering starting a hive. Does anyone know which box is better, the square frame or top bar? I'm glad you're asking other people, because I have no experience with anything other than the 10 frame Langstroth box, which is the typical square box. Home Place Journal, top bars don't seem to do well in cold regions. There's a good answer there. I have no experience. I'm not in a cold region, so maybe I could use the top bar hive. Paul Otis is answering that question. Thank you so much. It warms my heart to see that you guys will talk to each other and use this as a chat forum, because part of my goal in my channel is it can't all be about me. It has to be about community. So thank you for sharing with each other. Rain Country, good morning. Hope we're all having a lovely day. I am having a great day, and I hope to get some progress on that building, and it'll be an even better day. John Haffenecker, welcome from Centennial, Colorado. Good morning. Daniel T, John, again, Nikki Tierney, Kilted Gardner, Mr. Rain. Do you guys appreciate this interaction on the live show? I was a little bit conflicted when I got the comment about me wasting time talking to everybody. Part of me thought, oh yeah, I can see where that would be a little frustrating and irritating. But then another part of me thought, well, that's the whole point of a live show, right? Is the interaction. So just let me know if you feel like this is valuable, or if you wish I would just move on and talk about subjects. Part of the reason I think it's valuable, just my opinion, is that if I'm going to just talk about a subject, why don't I just do a video? And I do that throughout the week. Every Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday are my video days, and then Monday meetups when I don't miss them. And then Saturdays is my opportunity to hang out with you guys live. So let me know how you feel about that. And here's where I just get stuck looking at the screen. Better Together Life. You probably jumped in earlier and I missed you. Thanks for joining me. You guys also have a lot of really cool things going on over in the Houston area of Texas on YouTube. You can check out them. Texas Blacksmith 10, good morning. Barn framing looks good. Thank you. Thank you. It's coming along. I have everything, all four corners now are square. On the front, you can still see there's some leaning posts. I got to get those set in straight. I'm going to have to shave some of those holes off so I can move them over and get them right in line. But I think that's going to be a task I can accomplish today as long as the rain holds off. Uh-oh. I got to cover my camera here. Hey, sweetie. Do you mind getting the umbrella? I'm going to have to do this under an umbrella. Okay, for now, I'll get wet and I'll save my camera. Do I have any plants specifically for the bees? I really don't plant anything specifically for bees, but there are a lot of plants that I'm very grateful to have on the farm. Woo! I'm going to get wet. There are a lot of plants that I plant for other purposes, and then I'm glad that they are here for the bees. There's a lot of wildflowers that I love having here for the bees. The sunflowers and the salvias and all just loads of things that I love. I like it when I see horse mint and things like that growing on the farm. Last year was a great year for horse mint. That's a wild thing. I didn't plant them. This year I've seen very few. Good Game Bees, another beekeeper. Okay, let's see here. Here comes the umbrella. Bilal Alwan, good evening from Australia. Thank you, sweetie. Now, I'm covered. Let's see here. Yeah, you guys are doing a great job chatting with each other. I really like that. Better Together Life says, oh yeah, this is Bo and Kelly from Houston, Texas. Can you guys hear the rain now? Mr. Rain, speaking of rain, says, what kind of bees do you have? And the answer is the ones that I know for sure. I have a couple of Italian queens, but I also have several queens that were bred just a little further north here in Texas, and they were wild bred. They're not marked or anything. So they started out from bees. They started out from hives that were Italians, or I can never remember how to say the one that starts with a C. Cornelians, maybe. Anyway, so they were mixed in an apiary of mixed. Everything's gonna get wet. Sorry. And then the hives started breeding and producing their own queens. And I have a few of those now. I'm moving the umbrella to help save my homestead boxes as well. Okay. Jimmy Brooks says, I'm a way better gardener than beekeeper. I think I probably am too. Although I mess plenty up in the garden. But right now the garden is looking beautiful. The tomatoes are all coming on. I'm going to have so many tomatoes all at one time. I'm going to have to do some kitchen episodes to show you how I process those. I hope I can get that done. Robert Olson is here. Shashakila is here. Mike Hansen is here. Good morning. Okay, I'm going to try to catch up. The Weekend Homestead, reminding people to hit the thumbs up. And Clay Hardy. Will we know in advance who will be on the Monday meetups? Probably not. I do have a schedule that I've made for myself, but I have reserved the right and exercised the right several times already to rearrange that based on subject, timing, the video. I rearranged the schedule, so you probably won't know in advance. I'm just going to put those out. I will tell you that this coming Monday, providing that I can get my part reshot, the one that I was supposed to do last Monday was Jared from J&J Acres, so I need to get my part shot again and put that together and put the J&J Acres Monday meetups out this Monday. Rhonda says, I'm a great teacher for teenagers. Thank you so much. I don't really feel like a great teacher, but I love sharing what I do. And I know that a lot of times just experiencing the story and experiencing the journey that someone that goes through teaches people. You know, it doesn't have to be textbook. Lori Lumax is here from Saskatchewan. Good morning. Can you hear the airplanes flying over? Okay, scroll on. I'm going to scroll a little faster. I might miss some people. When will you be harvesting your honey? Probably in a few weeks there'll be some ready. I've already harvested a small batch that was left on over the winter. But I think that probably in a few weeks I might be able to take some off the tops of some of those very successful hives. Dog treats. Yes, Trish is reminding me that I did the dog treat video. And I've had a lot of people actually tell me that they loved making those and their dogs absolutely went nuts. And it's a good way to utilize some of those things that normally go in the trash or the compost pile. You can use those nutrients for your pets. Okay, all right, scrolling. Deep South Homestead is here. Good morning. Mr. Rain says I should do my live show the way I want. Yeah, I kind of have a problem. I like to please people, and I'm learning. I'm learning in life that I can't really because, you know, I have almost 30,000 subscribers now, and usually in the live show, you know, 100 or so people watching, and when you get that many people together, it's impossible to please everybody, and I'm learning that. So yes, I need to just do it any way I want. Love the interaction. Monday meetups? Question mark. Well, Jimmy Brooks, go check out the Monday meetups. What do you call it when they're all together? Playlist. Go check out the Monday meetups playlist. I'm pulling these boxes in so I can protect them from the rain. This will be an episode really for the history books, right? I mean, doing it all in the rain under an umbrella. How's the audio, by the way, under the umbrella? I'm sure it sounds different. Rain Country says, interacting is a big part of the live chat. It's good to have both education and dialogue. Thank you so much. Miss Rutabaga from Tacoma, Washington. Love your vids. I used your kombucha video to make my first batch. It turned out great. I am so glad that was helpful. It's a very nutritious drink, and I just batched up some more the other night. I have some kombucha questions. I will be making some kombucha frequently asked questions videos, but I haven't put those together yet. There are a lot of questions. I answer questions through the comments and through private messages, gosh, many times throughout the week. Sometimes I spend several hours a week just answering questions in Facebook messages and different ways. Monty's here. Good morning, Monty. Lori says, thanks for facilitating this community interaction. It's so very valuable. I agree. I totally agree. It's fun to watch. It's fun to be a part of. Rain means growth. It means a challenging live show too. I could have moved this inside, but I got everything all set up out here and I was all ready to go. Trish, oh, here's a funny story. Trish says, at some point you will have too many watching to do the shout out, so I'm enjoying it now before you get too famous, with a big smile. Famous, that's really funny. And here's a funny story. My son, the Golden Sun Beekeeper, you saw him in some episodes. He doesn't want to be on videos now, but you saw him in some of the episodes from last season when we were beekeeping together. And he worked at a coffee shop, and recently, well, he recently quit that job, but he went back just to hang out with some friends. And it turns out that one of the people that he was hanging out with was a follower of mine. She's never met me, she's never met him, but she was a follower, and she was so excited that she got to meet Daddykirbs' son, which I find very, very funny. But very glad that people are connecting with my story. Ava Reynolds, I'm 13 and I own my own beehive. Wow, that is so cool. Going good so far. We just added the second deep hive body. At the end of the month, we're going to see if it's ready for honey super. That is so exciting that you are learning beekeeping at such a young age. Thank you for participating in that and continuing that knowledge, because it's important for every generation to learn the things that the generations before have learned. It's too easy to give up and just rely on technology. Okay, let's see here. Scrolling through. Trish Rivera, thanks for joining us despite the rain. She gave me a $2 super chat. Thank you so much. Every little bit helps. And all of the money that comes in from super chats and Patreon accounts and the Google ads, all of that goes into helping this farm, me, continue the creative efforts, sharing my story and journey to make all of this possible. It also helps when I need to invest in things like this for the beehives or for the garden, so that I have what I need to continue making these videos. Thank you so much. Kate, you have no rain in your place? That's just right down the road. Okay. Off Grid with Doug and Stacy are here. Another great homesteading channel. I'm learning a lot from you guys lately. I love watching what you do. I love the way you guys interact with each other and the way that you make your community feel very important. Thank you for being here with me, and thank you for doing what you do. Okay. Deep South Home says they're getting a sprinkle. Wow, I was not going to do all of this, but you guys, you make it too hard. I can't not interact with you guys. It's so fun. Save my coffee cup from the rain. It's under the umbrella, Texas Blacksmith. Ah, man, that coffee's good. We never turn down rain, that's right. Wow, there's so many comments. I'm so excited. Right now, there's only 55 people watching, which is cool. I didn't mean to say only, but what I love is just seeing the community that's building. You guys are amazing. Good Game Bees. Let's see. He's a teacher by trade, and I do a fabulous, talking to me, doing a fabulous job by doing rather than teaching by preaching. Thank you so much. If I were to teach by preaching, I think people would shut me down in a hurry, because I would come across as a big fraud, I'm sure. But when I do something and I share it, I feel really good about that, because no matter what the outcome, whether it fails or succeeds, it's still a teaching moment. And I love the fact that people are starting to understand that not everything has to be perfect. I am not. I never have been. And it's just so comforting and relieving to know that we can share our story. All of us have a story, and everyone has something valuable to share. And the more that we share, you guys are sharing with me in the comments, sharing with me here in the live chats, and sharing each other's story and journey is so important for growth. Crystal Hartshorn. Let's see, everybody, I'm trying to catch up. Audio is fine, love the rain. So now I can always tell how far behind I am by the comments. Okay, let's see here. It's starting to slow down. I'm just getting a few big drops now. I need a bigger umbrella. I do, like a big shelter. But at I have not yet gotten the Wi-Fi, the outdoor Wi-Fi hooked up, and I really need to do that. But positioned right here where I'm at, with the horse barn behind me, I have a straight line of sight to the Wi-Fi. It's directly up here behind the camera, and my signal is a little stronger this morning. I noticed that some of the playback, the video, is not really good in some of the other live streams, and it is because of the network. I'm hoping this morning looks better. Anyo Ness Merkt, soon to be monsoon here in Thailand. Luckily, I'll be back in the UK just in time. Missing the heavy rains. Thank you, moderators, for doing what you're doing. You're making this experience so much better. Okay, wow, you guys are amazing. Okay, just beginning to sprinkle, Kate says. Kate's right down the road, and she is getting some rain now. Okay, now I'm just being quiet. Sorry, I'm reading. Okay. Kilted Gardener, one day I'll do a live video on my channel. I hope you do. Everyone who has the channels, sharing with each other, sharing with your audience is valuable, and the live shows just make it that much more fun. And Liv from Norway with the 50 kroner, I like to say knock because it's NOK. Thanks for sharing the garden farming and the rain. Thank you so much for sharing your gift with me. It's always humbling. Thank you so much. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and go. Hey, I think I finished. All right. I'm going to start a question here, a kombucha question. The comment is a couple of questions. How long will the finished drink last in the fridge? I'll answer that one first. And I will say that I don't really know how long it will last because I've never let it go long enough to spoil. Usually all the bottles that I put in the refrigerator are gone within a week to 10 days. There was one exception. There's a hummingbird. Oh my goodness. Oh, flew away. I was going to turn the camera around and show you the hummingbird. I didn't know hummingbirds would get on roses, but they just did. It just came up to the rose. So there was one bottle one time that I had in the refrigerator, and I have no idea how long it was in there, but it did spoil. So I sort of told you a fib that I've never left one, but I did leave one long enough to spoil. I don't know how long it was. It had to be a few months. It got pushed way to the back of the refrigerator, but it is possible for them to spoil. And I think what happens is when it's capped off and it can't breathe, that live, because even in the refrigerator, the bacteria and yeast needs to be able to breathe, even though it's very slow because of the cold temperatures. And if it can't breathe, then eventually it's just going to suffocate and die like we would. And the SCOBY, the baby SCOBY that had formed in there, turned real dark and slimy and sank to the bottom. And when I cracked the top and smelled it, you could tell it no longer smelled like fresh kombucha. It was very obvious that it had lost its goodness. So I don't know how long that took, but it is possible for it to ruin in the refrigerator. I think it's possible to ruin in any situation where it's capped and can't breathe. When I store SCOBYs on the pantry shelf, and that's the next question, I think. Actually, the next question is there any degradation after a certain length of time? So that's, I just explained, yes, they do degrade. Can the SCOBY be put in the freezer if you decide to take a break from making new batches from kombucha? Or is there any other way of preserving the SCOBY for later? Well, my experience is I've never tried to put one in the freezer, so I don't know if you can freeze a SCOBY. Well, you can freeze it, but I don't know if it can come back after that. You can put them in the refrigerator and that will put them dormant, but I have done that, and again, it seems like when they are in that dormant stage for extended periods of time, they start to degrade. What I have found the best way to store a SCOBY, and I'll be making videos later to explain all of the kombucha questions in a more orderly fashion, but the best way that I store a SCOBY is to put it in a separate jar. I like to use quart jars, and I'll put a SCOBY in there and some fresh black tea and a little bit of kombucha, just like I'm making a fresh batch, and I put it on the pantry and I'll cover it with a cloth, just like I'm making a fresh batch. But the difference is I don't worry about getting that kombucha batched up in a week or so, because if it goes sour, it's okay. That SCOBY is still going to be alive. And I don't know exactly how long you can push that, but I will tell you this. I recently had some kombucha that I kind of fell out of cycle of making my kombucha, and it was 4 months before I batched up again. And the kombucha that was in there was sour. I couldn't use it for anything other than vinegar type things. I couldn't drink it, but the liquid was fine to add to my next batch, and the SCOBYs were fine to add. I just took the ones that were on the top because they layer themselves. I threw the bottom ones out and I kept the top ones, and it was fine. So that was 4 months and they did just fine. So the best way that I would say that if you're going to do kombucha and you're not going to stay with the batch is to store your SCOBYs in the pantry, covered so they can breathe with a cloth or something, or a loose lid, enough so that they can breathe. And then if you're worried about it, every month or so you can dump a little of the kombucha vinegar out and just add some sweet black tea. That way you keep it alive, keep it happy. And really, I think that could go on indefinitely. So that's how you store SCOBYs. At least that's the way that I have found to store SCOBYs. And if you want to start what I call insurance batches, take some quart jars, put some fresh black tea, and just pour a little kombucha in it, unflavored kombucha, or flavored. It'll work fine, but I think it prefers the unflavored. And put those up, cover them with the cloth, and put them on the shelf to form new baby SCOBYs. And if one batch, your main batch gets moldy, I've only had one little batch go moldy, but that way you'll have insurance bottles, little quart jars of SCOBYs and kombucha sitting there waiting for you to come back and do a new batch, just in case. Because it would be pretty terrible to only have one batch going with no insurance, and then you lose a batch due to mold or whatever. And yeah, so anyway, that's how I keep several jars going in different locations just in case. Okay, we're at 45 minutes, and I haven't talked about the giveaways. I don't have any particular way to do the giveaway yet. Looks like we had some buffering. It seems like my signal's strong on my end, so hopefully it's just the one case and not everyone. Hey Luke, can you come sit down with me and hold the umbrella? Do you mind doing that so I can show what's in this box? Luke just got done with chicken duties and he's gonna come sit with me. Come on in here, bud. Just make sure you keep it over the camera. That's the most important thing right now, okay? Just like that. Can you say howdy to everybody? Can you say howdy?
Howdy.
Howdy. Okay, so we're gonna show what's in this box. It's kind of an awkward position here, but I'm gonna take the items out of here one at a time. It's not raining so bad now. The Homestead box, so the concept of this company that does the Homestead box is that they are preparing these boxes that you can get on subscription, and every month, as long as you keep the subscription, every month you get a new box and it has new stuff in it. And I think that's very exciting. The company offered to give me a couple of boxes just so that I can see it, experience it, and then share it with you guys. So this was a free box, and I'm gonna not keep anything out of it. I'm gonna turn it around and give it to somebody in my audience. I would kind of like to give it away in a live stream, so I need to figure out what my method for conducting that is. So coming up, whether it be in a video or on live stream, this box that I'm getting ready to show you, and I have two of them, but I'm only going to show you one today. This box is going to go to somebody in my audience, and because my patrons have been so generous, and I want to tell you that I have some very generous patrons. Because they have been so generous to help me continue what I do here, I'm going to offer this box. I'm pretty sure. I'm going to give myself a way out right now, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to offer it to the entire world and just let my patrons pay the, what do you call it? The postage. But maybe that'll change depending on how much it costs, because it is kind of a big box, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to open it up. So the first thing that I want to show, okay, so it comes with a letter, it comes with a description of everything that's in the box. And this box right here, and every box is different, came with this really cool hatchet. It seems like a really high quality hatchet. Has a little leather cover, nice blade, filled sharp. Now I would kind of like to keep this, but because I'm going to do the giveaway, I don't want to take anything out of this box. I want one of you guys to get this. So this is probably the main item in the box, is a hatchet, because every homestead needs a way to... do I have an affiliate link for the boxes in case we want to sign up? I don't. I can ask them if I can have an affiliate link, but I don't think I do. Not right now, anyway. If you do sign up, why don't you just tell them that Daddykirbs sent you, and let them know that that you found them through me and that you're excited about what they do. So also in the box is a leather strap for sharpening, a little field notes guide to keep notes, write down your notes in the field, saddle soap, a clay bar or wax. What is this? I gotta look. Some of it I'm not sure what this is. Green honing compound. So this is probably for sharpening. Come down. It's okay. Let's see here. Then they also have this folding knife, which is kind of cool. Feels like a pretty nice quality knife. This is all in one box. This all comes in one box. This is all one prize. Woo! You're dipping here, bud. Also, hold it up. A file for some of that sharpening. And I am not the expert on how to use any of this. I just got the box. I'm showing it to you, and then I'm going to give it away. So this is Leather Care Leather Salve, a sanding sponge, yeah, I think it stopped raining. You can go ahead and get up. Thank you, Luke. Okay, taking the umbrella down. I'll have it handy right here by me, just in case. This is called the Puck Tool Sharpener. And boiled linseed oil. What else do we got in here? I think that's it in this box, but that's a pretty good box. That's a lot of stuff. Okay, so help me out. Actually, you guys can help me figure out how I can conduct a giveaway. Give me ideas on how to conduct a giveaway. I thought about just doing it here in the live stream and do some sort of a comment thing, and then have my moderators keep track of that, and then do a drawing right here in the live stream. And that might be the way I go, but I'm not sure yet. So if you want, you know what? Let's just do it. Let's just do it. Next week in the live show, I'm going to give this box away. We're going to find out a way. Between now and next week, we're going to find out a way to do a comment entry, and then my moderators are going to help me give this box away. So that's what we can look forward to for next week, is that somebody in the live stream next week, so 9 a.m. Central, for about 45 minutes to an hour or so, we're going to have a chat, and then we're going to give this box away. I just made up my mind right here, right on the spot. We're going to give this away. So we have the puck, the sanding sponge, the folding knife, the saddle soap, the leather salve, the file, the field notes booklets, the leather strap, got a raindrop on it, that's free. The little green bar that I'm sure somebody's going to love. The Weekend Homestead is suggesting that we do $1 super chats for the entries. Maybe, we'll see. And of course, the big boy in the box is the hatchet. And the paper that comes with it. I'm very excited. I really want to keep this box, and but I'm actually more excited to share this box with you. And I'm very excited. I think it's really cool what this company is doing, the Homestead Box Company. They are the homesteadbox.com. You could probably just go out and buy all this stuff on your own, but what's cool about their subscription service is that if you're just getting started on a homestead and you just need a little help getting started, you don't really know what you need, the subscription is, I don't remember what the dollar amounts for the subscriptions. I think it's around $90, $99 a month, but you go look that up at the homesteadbox.com. I'm looking over here to make sure I get it right. But it is the homesteadbox.com. Go look at them, see what their boxes have, and see if the service is right for you, because I didn't intend for this to be an advertising for them, but they did give me these boxes for free, so it gives me a way to interact with you and gives me something to give away. Well, you got to see this. Hold on. Look, Lulu found her way up on the roof, and the roof is wet, and she can't hardly keep her footing up there. That's Lulu, our youngest kitty. You'll make it, Lulu. Poor kitty cat. They've been on that roof 100 times. She'll figure it out. There she's going. She's going to the other side. She could easily jump onto the house roof from there, so she'll be fine. Slip sliding away. That's funny stuff. Okay, I'm about ready to shut this down for the day. It's been a really fun 55 minutes so far. If you have any last minute questions, go ahead and submit them and I will try to answer them. And then we will see you again next week when we figure out a way to give this box away. And I have another box and you don't know what's in that one. That one is going to be given away too. I'm not going to keep any of them. I got them for free and I'm going to turn them around and give them to somebody here. Let's see here. Home Place Journal, your girls are yelling. Go take care of those chickens. Paul says, have a great weekend. Thank you. Do I have solar on my homestead? I sure do. Did you see that when I put turned it to the cats? I have the solar panels on the other side of that roof. And it's likely, not set in stone, but it's likely that there's going to be more solar panels on this horse barn. That roof is going to be angled and facing west, so it will take advantage of the midday to evening sun, which is really bright and intense here in Texas. I don't know if that's going to happen for sure, but that's a sort of plan. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Brooke Chilvers said he fell asleep. He'll have to watch it later. I am that exciting. People fall asleep in my live show. You guys are amazing. Okay. Oh, thank you. The Weekend Homestead's posting the homesteadbox.com. Thank you for posting that link. And I am just about ready to hit out. Oh, the ducks. Yes. The ducks are out. The chickens are out. My beautiful wife is out. Everything comes to life here in the mornings here on the Daddykirbs farm. Typically on Saturdays I wait to let the animals out until after the show, but my wife is not out yard selling right now, so she's taking care of ducks and chickens, and Luke was helping with the chicken duties, and my beautiful daughter was helping with the chicken duties. Everyone's helping out. And Will says, thumbs up for Mrs. Kirbs. Thank you, Will. All right. That's it. I'm done. Thank you so much. I love you guys. I can't wait to give this box away next week. I'll talk to you then.